Welcome to my channel, Hotspot with Loveth, the ultimate spot for all things entertainment, ranging from celebrity gists, reviews, interesting stories, and African folktales. Subscribe now. In the heart of Lagos, amidst the bustling city life, Ayo's life was a symphony of routine. By day, he was a dedicated corporate lawyer, navigating the intricate world of contracts and negotiations. By night, he was an insomniac, haunted by the ghosts of his past failed relationships. It was a Friday evening when fate decided to intervene. Ayo sat at his usual spot in a cafe artistry, a quaint coffee shop that offered an escape from the city's chaos. His eyes were buried in legal documents, but his mind wandered. The cafe's door chimed, signaling a new arrival. Ayo glanced up and saw her, a vision of grace and beauty. She had an aura that demanded attention. With her flowing back hair, almond-shaped eyes, and a smile that could thaw the coldest heart. She scanned the room and her eyes met Ayo's. There was an electric connection, a spark that neither could ignore. She walked over, her movements like a poetry in motion, and asked if she could join him. Ayo, usually composed, found himself fumbling for words. "Sure, please, have a seat," he managed to say, his heart pounding. "I'm Ifeoma, but you can call me Ify," she introduced herself, her voice like a melody. "Ayo," he replied, offering his hand. As they shook hands, a jolt of electricity passed between them, making Ayo's heart race even more. Over the next few weeks, Ayo and Ify became inseparable. Their connection was magnetic and their chemistry was undeniable. They spent countless hours exploring the city, sharing their dreams, fears, and desires. Ayo felt alive in a way he hadn't in years. Ify's presence was intoxicating, and he found himself falling deeply in love with her. But Ify had secrets. Beneath her charming exterior was a labyrinth of lies and deception. She had approached Ayo with a hidden agenda, one that was slowly unraveling as her feelings for him grew stronger. She was not just a beautiful woman who had walked into his life by chance. She was on a mission that could shatter Ayo's world. One evening, as they lay intertwined in each other's arms, Ify's phone buzzed. She quickly grabbed it, her face tensing as she read the message. Ayo noticed, but decided not to pry. "Is everything okay?" he asked, concern lacing his voice. Ayo nodded, but a seed of doubt had been planted in his mind. "Yes, just work stuff," she replied, forcing a smile. "Nothing to worry about." He trusted Ify, but something felt off. He brushed it aside, not wanting to ruin the perfect moment they were sharing. As the weeks turned into months, Ayo and Ify's relationship deepened. They were inseparable, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. But the seed of doubt in Ayo's mind had taken root, and he couldn't shake the feeling that Ify was hiding something from him. One night, after a passionate evening together, Ify fell asleep in Ayo's arms. Her phone buzzed again, and this time, curiosity got the better of him. He gently slipped the phone from her grasp and unlocked it with a code he had memorized from watching her. What he found made his blood run cold. Messages from an unknown number revealed a sinister plot. Ify was working with someone to gain Ayo's trust and access his confidential files. She had been sent to deceive him, to gather information that could ruin his career. Ayo's heart shattered as he read the messages, betrayal cutting deep into his soul. He put the phone back, careful not to wake Ify. He lay there, staring at the ceiling, his mind racing. How could he have been so blind? The woman he loved, the woman he trusted, had been playing him all along. The next morning, Ayo woke up with a heavy heart. He needed to confront Ify, but he also needed to be sure. He decided to gather more evidence before making his move. Over the next few days, he monitored her activities, piecing together the puzzle of her deception. One evening, as they sat on the balcony of Ayo's apartment watching the sunset, he decided it was time. "Ify, I need to talk to you," he began, his voice steady but his heart pounding. "Sure, what's on your mind?" she asked, sensing the seriousness in his tone. "I know about the messages. I know you have been lying to me," Ayo said, his eyes locked onto hers. Ify's face turned pale. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The silence between them was deafening. "Why?" Ayo demanded, his voice breaking. "Why would you do this to me?" Tears welled up in Ify's eyes. "Ayo, I never wanted to hurt you. It all started as a job, but I fell in love with you. I didn't know how to tell you the truth. Ayo's heart ached at her confession, but he couldn't let go of the betrayal. Who sent you? What do they want? Ifoma hesitated, then took a deep breath. It was your rival, Johnson. He wanted to destroy you, to ruin your career. I was supposed to find incriminating evidence, but I couldn't do it. Ayo, I couldn't betray you. Ayo's mind raced. Johnson had always been a thorn in his side, but this was a new level of treachery. He looked at Ify, torn between his love for her and the pain of her betrayal. The following days were a whirlwind of emotions. Ayo couldn't deny his feelings for Ify, but the betrayal was too fresh, too raw. Ify, on the other hand, was determined to make things right. She cut off all contact with Johnson and vowed to help Ayo expose him. Together, they devised a plan to gather evidence against Johnson. Ify used her connections to infiltrate his network, while Ayo prepared a legal case to bring him down. Their love, once built on deception, now stood on the shaky ground of redemption. One night, as they walked late into the evening, the tension between them reached a boiling point. The air was thick with unspoken words, their proximity igniting a spark that neither could ignore. Ayo looked at Ify, his desire for her clashing with his anger and hurt. Ify, he said, his voice hoarse, why did you have to be the one to do this to me? Tears streamed down her cheeks. Ayo, I never meant to hurt you. I love you more than anything else. Please believe me. Ayo closed the distance between them, his hand gently cupping her face. I want to believe you, Ify. I really do. Their lips met in a desperate kiss, a collision of love and pain. The kiss deepened, their bodies moving in sync as they clung to each other, seeking solace in their shared passion. The world outside ceased to exist as they lost themselves in the moment. Their plan to expose Johnson progressed, and they gathered enough evidence to bring him to justice. But as they prepared for the final showdown, another twist of fate awaited them. Ayo received an anonymous tip warning him that Ify was still in contact with Johnson. His heart sank, the seed of doubt sprouting once again. He confronted Ify, his voice trembling with rage. Are you still working for him? He demanded, showing her the message. Ify's eyes widened in shock. No, Ayo, I swear I'm not. Someone is trying to tear us apart. Ayo wanted to believe her, but the wounds of betrayal were too deep. He decided to go ahead with the plan alone, cutting Ify out of the operation. The day of the trial arrived, and Ayo stood in court presenting his case against Johnson. The evidence was overwhelming, and Johnson's downfall was imminent. But as the proceedings continued, Ayo couldn't shake the feeling that he had made a terrible mistake. During a recess, Ify appeared in the courtroom, her eyes filled with determination. She approached Ayo, ignoring the stares of the onlookers. Ayo, please, let me help you. We need to do this together, she pleaded. Ayo hesitated, then nodded. All right, but this is your last chance. Ify, if you betray me again, it's over. Together, they presented the final piece of evidence, a recording that incriminated Johnson beyond a shadow of doubt. The court erupted in chaos as Johnson was taken into custody, his empire crumbling around him. With Johnson out of the picture, Ayo and Ify were free to rebuild their relationship. The road to healing was long and arduous, but their love proved stronger than the deception that had initially brought them together.